I am about to start a new campaign of D&D, and I'm very excited about it. So, this is going to be the fourth campaign that I've been a part of. The very first one that I was in, I played a cleric. It fizzled out quite quickly, around about level 3, because basically the in real life party just couldn't hang together. One of our members was in hospital. It just wasn't really working. So that kind of fizzled out. But then we quickly jumped onto another campaign which someone was starting, and that one went all the way through. I think we finished at about level 10. Um, we were doing it at the guy's house. That was a very bumpy campaign. It was not the best that I don't know. I mean, obviously, the gold standard is always something like Critical Role or Dimension 20. So you watch these things online, you know what a good campaign feels like, and the campaign that I was involved in, it just wasn't really that. I think the DM had a lot of stuff going on in his life, but also I think he suffered a little bit from ADHD. And this would show because occasionally he'd be really enthusiastic about something and he'd put a lot of effort into planning. And so for like, you'd have one session which would be like, wow, this is really well planned and thought out. And then you'd have like 2 or 3 sessions that were just awful. And that would happen quite a few times through things. We had also quite a few players leave, new players joined. We were a big party as well. There were 6 of us at the table. It was a lot. So overall, it was quite a bumpy campaign, and I didn't particularly enjoy it. At no point did I really have a sense of what we were trying to do, what was the goal, and I never really had any sense of like, well, why am I actually hanging around with this group of people? I don't think my character likes them very much. One of them's all right. I like him, but the others, I'm like, why am I with this thief when I'm a very morally righteous gnome? I was a sorry, I was a druid in that one. Um, the third campaign, I was DM, and that one has just finished. It just wrapped up. I took a group all the way from level 1 to level 10. Uh, my thoughts on that I'm going to leave in a different video because I have many thoughts on it. But overall, it went well. I feel personally that it had a good shape to it. The characters were invested. They understood why they were together. They understood what they were shooting for. There was an obvious goal. And everyone, I think, had a jolly time along the way, which is the main thing. Um, and we wrapped up. And now we are starting a new campaign, and I'm very, very excited. I get to actually play again. I do like playing. I like DMing a lot. I do. I like role playing. I like coming up with the world, but it's a lot of stress. I do have a family. I do have a full time job. I only have one day a week where I can do D&D stuff, and so it was very stressful, kind of coming up with stuff all the time and trying to make sure that everything laddered up nicely, that it all made sense, that everything was kind of structured in a good way, and that you know it was a lot of pressure. I was constantly thinking about it during the week. It took a lot of brain power to think of, but now I get to be in the player's seat again. I'm very excited, so excited, in fact, that I have actually gone out and I have purchased for this thing here. Look at this. This is my D&D case now that I'm going to be bringing with me. Awesome. I love this thing. Look, I'll show you what's inside. So inside, first of all, we've got here like a little box which you can like roll dice in. That's always awesome. And of course, the bag of click clacks is here. Very nice. Here you can see my character sheet is on a piece of like transparent what's this, like cellophane, and of course then that means I can write on it with like non-permanent pen if I want to, and I could like mark down things that I get, and in fact it comes out, and on the back there is a space where I can put things, for example, like a tablet if I've got one. What have I got here at the moment? I've just got a notebook there at the moment. So that comes out, and I can work with it. And here I've got a notebook, a brand new one. Look at this. Look at this cool notebook I've got. I'm gonna be writing in there. I've written out my backstory, printed it out just in case I forget. I'm not going to forget. Pens, spell slot tracker, and this thing. Look at this. This is for tracking my HP. I love this thing. This is going to be awesome. Use this to track my HP. So I've really gone all out. So I'm really happy. And the best thing of all, I went onto Hero Forge and I created my character, and I have painted him up. Look at that. He's all painted up and ready to go. Big boy with a hammer. Looking good, don't it? So yeah, I'm definitely prepped for this. Really looking forward to it. And I'm going to be playing hopefully quite an interesting character. On the last campaign that I did, I was aware that the party were often kind of pulling in different directions, and this is one of the issues, that there was a lot of inter-party conflict at times as well. Despite the fact that there was a clear reason why the party was together, and despite the fact that they all had a shared kind of goal of what they were shooting for, it was still a little bit like herding cats at times. Everyone kind of had their own objectives, and the party weren't really the sort of people to just sit down and talk and share things. And so I deliberately created a character who would kind of be designed to be the heart and soul of the party, designed to be the kind of glue that sticks everyone together. I hope that this works. The sort of person who isn't going to just like take over things and be like, this is my story, but it will actually like bring the party together, have a heart to heart with different characters, try and bring them in if they're kind of like, I'm just a lone wolf sitting by myself, I don't talk to anybody, and just like, well, I'm also a lone wolf, and I also don't talk to anybody, and I'm off over here. And so you start off with everyone being lone wolves just in the corners of the tavern, and you're like, well, you're a party now. It just doesn't work. You need someone, at least one person, just being like, I go to this lone wolf and I offer them a drink. I don't know. So that's my character. He's designed to be he's a fighter, but he's designed to be quite wise and kind of softly spoken. My starting point for this guy was the character of Worf from Star Trek. I always loved Worf because, well, for one thing, he's meant to be this like big, strong thug, but of course, the villain of the week, just to show how strong they are, they always have to beat him up. So he gets beaten up more than any other character, which is always hilarious. But no, the main thing was he was raised by humans. And even though he himself is a Klingon, and he's constantly like he has the Klingon blood, and he's obviously, wanting to go out and fight and get honor for himself, but he was raised by humans, and so he knows how to behave in polite society, and he knows how to behave with squishy humans, and there's this constant like internal struggle going on in his brain, where his instincts are to go out and fight, but he's constantly reining himself back in. And even worse, anytime he comes out with a suggestion, like, sir, I suggest that we raise shields. Sir, I suggest that we go to red alert. And the captain's always like, no, we're not doing that. So not only does he get beaten up by everybody, any suggestion he comes out with gets shot down. But actually, at his heart, he's a really interesting character because he is constantly fighting with himself, trying to be a better version of himself, trying to be the best version of himself that he can be. And it turns out that he actually ends up being the gold standard of what a Klingon should be. Like throughout the course of DS9, which really fleshes him out. Like he is clearly like a gold standard Klingon. Like, the Klingon Empire, it turns out, is incredibly corrupt. Everyone's just out for themselves. Everyone's just getting personal glory and fighting for their own personal honor. And the Empire is rotting from within. And here is Worf coming in from the outside, this like paragon of virtue, tempered by Federation values, and he just sorts it all out. You know, in the final episode, kills the Chancellor of the Klingon Empire, and names General Martok as the new Chancellor. And what a character arc. It's brilliant. So that's my guy. I don't want to give away too many spoilers of him, because there is, there are depths to him which I hope will be revealed over time. But yeah, he is equally at odds inside himself, constantly conflicted inside himself, in a similar way to Worf, but was raised by nobility, minor nobility, son of a baron, not particularly liked by his father though, and he kind of has daddy issues, big daddy issues. But yeah, interested to see where it goes. Like I say, quite wise because of the upbringing that he's had. And it's going to end, and over time, he starts as a fighter. He's going to multi-class into cleric, basically a forge cleric, because he works in a blacksmith and works with horses. So he's also a cavalier fighter. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this character. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I am nervous about the campaign because I know I've never had the guy that's DMing. I've not actually had him as a DM before. I know he's very experienced because he does a lot of Adventures League, so I know that he'll do a good job. Um, but I also know he shoots for extremes sometimes, so we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Um, I may have to roll up a new character straight away, but if that's the case, then that's how it rolls sometimes. Um, so yeah, looking forward to see how it goes, and I will do another blog afterwards to let you know the results. But yeah, D&D, yeah, looking forward to this. So take care.